New York is getting too expensive for young travelers. People in their 20s are having a hard time affording trips into the city. That's what the city's tourism leaders said at a panel hosted by the Association for a Better New York last week. The panel included New York City's top executives, such as the Hotel Association, CEO, as well as the head of the tourism board. So the city's been getting more expensive by the month. The average price for a hotel room this year, as of October, from January to October, is $288. That's up from $241 in 2019. Young tourists are going to are doing what they can to save money. So they use Ubers, taxis, restaurants, and hotels, which are especially the most expensive part of any New York trip. But one way they try and save money as well is they will stay with a friend who lives in New York or use an Airbnb to save money. But the Airbnb option has been eliminated recently. Starting in September, the city has reduced the supply of Airbnbs because the local government is enforcing rules that make it harder for Airbnb hosts to put the rooms up online. Hosts now have to register with the city and follow strict rules. Listings on the site on Airbnb have plummeted as a result. There's been an apparent 80% drop in listings since the laws were enforced. And unfortunately, the city does not have cheaper alternatives to Airbnb. In most major cities, you can, use a hostel room. Like in Paris, you can get a cheap hostel you share with a bunch of people. It's an affordable option for younger people who tend to have less income. But the city does not have as many hostels as Paris or Chicago or other big cities because of local policies dating back to the 2010s. And then another issue that's essentially making hotels more expensive and the city more expensive is the ongoing migrant crisis. About 15,000 hotel rooms are being used to house migrants, according to the Hotel Association CEO executive. This lowers the supply of hotel rooms, which causes pricing to increase. And it's a shame because New York City has a lot of repeat travelers. If a city gets a traveler while they're young, they typically will come back again. So if New York City can only get people when they're older, they won't be able to reap, say 4 or 5 trips out of someone who's 50 compared to someone who's 21 or 23. So these policies are going to keep getting worse. As the city gets more expensive, it's going to make the city much more of a older person traveling destination, unfortunately.